Hello, Candace-Marie Mitcham with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Silverhawk Realty, East Idaho, and you are joining me for the Lending Lounge. Today, we're going to be speaking with Mike.Morrison from Movement Mortgage. What's going on in the market? What's the stats, especially here in Idaho Falls? So stay tuned. Hey, Mike, long time no talk. Thank you for joining me today.
Yes, happy to be back. It's been too long.
I know. I almost forgot what you look like. So we were going to jump back in and kind of just take a temperature check on the market
Yeah.
and focus mainly on Idaho Falls and maybe bridge out a little bit beyond that. So what can you tell me from the lending perspective, what you have going on, and then we'll dig in deeper here locally.
Yeah, so obviously we're halfway through February, so about 5 or 6 weeks into the year, and it's starting to tell us some statistics, right, about what we're seeing, in the market and how the market is likely to perform here moving forward. And what's been interesting is it's been a very, very busy start to the year. Applications are overall are up, activity is up. And the thing that we keep hearing from the field, from the market week after week is just stories about busy open houses, right? Lots of activity, lots of people coming through open houses, and lots of multiple offer situations out there on homes again. And now it's not every home by any means, but enough of them that it's definitely a pattern out there. And we're seeing some buyers, not win the home with their first offer. And so it just is a reminder for the buyers out there that if they're feeling qualified, if they're feeling ready, if they feel like home ownership is in their future, it might be really, really smart to just pull the trigger right now. We are seeing this type of activity and this level of interest, even with rates kind of going up a little bit here for the first
Yeah, they
five or
popped
six
up a
weeks.
little bit, right?
Yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah.
that should lead to less activity, but we're seeing, activity hold strong. We're seeing these offers hold strong. So that's with rates going up and in the winter time. Most people don't
Right.
want to be outside in Idaho in winter. So,
Well, and last Saturday, I'll tell you, here in Idaho Falls was
yeah,
actually one of the busiest open house weekends that I've seen in a while. So we had
yep.
multiple families coming through looking at houses. So I think it's a couple of things. To your point, the rates did come down the beginning of the year. They have
Hmm.
crept back up a little bit, nothing
Yep,
crazy.
yep.
But I think people have been sitting for so long waiting that exactly that point. It's like, well, dang it, I got to get off the fence a little bit. I'm
Yeah,
kind of tired of waiting. Yeah.
yeah. And regardless of where you are in Idaho, I talk to agents all over the state. We're hearing it
Yeah.
from you in Idaho Falls. We're hearing it in the Twin Falls Magic Valley area. We're hearing it in
Yeah.
the Boise Treasure Valley. We're hearing it in northern Idaho. So the message is just for people, like if you're feeling ready, don't try to time the market. If the rates do start coming back down, which we do believe will be the
Hmm.
case here in 2024,
Right.
that will just exacerbate everything that we're talking about. More competition, more buyers, more busy open houses,
Right.
and it just could lead to higher prices for the homeowners, at that time. So just talk with your real estate professionals, with your lending professionals, and let's get you into a home while you can
Yeah.
still have, some negotiating power out there.
Exactly. And the last time that we talked, really talking about stats, which was a few weeks back, I think we
Mhm.
were looking at the median home price here in Idaho Falls was somewhere between 417, 419, right?
Yeah,
For a single family home.
yeah.
So I pulled up just a recap of the stats currently. So for reference for everybody, we're looking at Idaho Falls,
Okay.
which is Southeast Idaho for anybody who's not in the Idaho Falls area. And for single family homes, condos, and townhouses in the last 30 days, everything that's active, pending, or closed. And that totaled 384 listings. Now, I did remove 13 that were over $1 million.
Okay.
But for those, kind of underneath the $1 million range, 384 active homes on the market in one level or another, or in one status or another. And what we have now is our median sales price
Mhm.
was 355. So
Okay.
again, we would talk before that 417, that 419 range, that was for single family homes. I did include townhomes and condos in this case. And what we're seeing, which
Which
I
are
thought was
usually lower
interesting too.
priced.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So we're going to have some that are a little bit lower priced. Um, and what we have is the sold price versus the list price. Okay. So
Yeah.
the list price at the time of sale, we were at 99.31%. Okay.
Wow.
Now, when we,
So, yeah.
yeah. And then a different stat to kind of compare that for you is the original list price versus what it sold at, right? So that's 97.45. So what that tells you is some of the prices are having to be readjusted. And
Yeah.
this is where, again, we've talked about real estate is hyper local. So you have some of these homeowners that are like, yeah, but 3 months ago, 6 months ago, my neighbor's house sold for, and
Yeah.
they're still trying to capture those dollars. And the market isn't coming down, it's just normalized, right?
Yeah.
And that's where we have to just realign our expectations a little bit, right, on that
Yeah.
listing price, because we list too high, guess what? It's going to take longer to sell. We're going
Yeah.
to have to do price improvements, and then people are going to start wondering how come the house hasn't moved, and it becomes less desirable.
Yes.
Because usually the most traction you get is within the first 12 days of a listing.
Yep. Yep. And
Important stat for
for
people
a
to know.
buyer, perception is the reality. If they see
Yeah.
something that's listed for a while, their first thought is what's wrong with it. Yeah.
So yeah, so just kind of a, update on where we're at there. Is there anything else that I can kind of refine that down for you? Any curious questions you may have on that over
No,
here?
no. I mean, I think it's just remarkable that, the prices are holding pretty steady. I mean, 97% is not much that they're giving up there. And 99.3 is, I mean, that just means that people are having to make full price offers to get
Yeah.
their offer accepted. And, and I think I have a suspicion that if the rates do start to creep down, we're going to see that number actually go up over the course of the spring and the summer.
Yeah.
As we introduce more and more buyers, as the weather gets better, people are more excited about moving and selling homes and things like that. So, again, it's just the message is just don't wait. If you're ready, don't wait. If you're not ready, that's okay.
Right.
But yeah, jump back in if you feel like home ownership is in the cards for you this year.
Yeah. And I'm going to refine this real quick just to do an apples to apples here and take a look at, except for I hit the wrong button. That's how you know this is live, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So I'm going to go through and run that same search, but pull out those properties that are over $1 million and just do single family homes, right? Because again, last time we were
yeah.
looking at 417, 419. So when I pull this, take a look at it, we have dun, 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 dun. All right. So our median sales price is going to be 363. So a little bit higher when
Yeah,
we pull
yeah,
those condos and those townhomes out.
yeah.
So that's where we're at there. So yeah, and when it's priced appropriately, things are going at 100%.
Wow.
100% of list price
Yeah,
to sale price. So,
wow.
you were seeing people get back into the groove of where we're at. So see how I can skew it just based on the property type that's in there. It's
Yeah,
always interesting.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, things are still moving, and people ask me all the time, how's the market, right? And it's like, it's still good. Don't listen
yeah,
to the national news, right?
yeah,
So talk to your agents. We can tell you what's going on here, not what happened in your cousin's best friend's college roommate's neighborhood. It's just
yeah.
different,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then
Mm-hmm.
with the lending
100%.
world, we have you.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think you mentioned you have some new programs or tools coming available, right?
There's just been some little refinements and tweaks
Mhm.
to some of the guidelines here that we had in the last week or two. Basically, they were all good changes. There was some improvements in self-employed income calculations, a couple improvements for manufactured homes. Nothing I would say earth-shattering, but
Mhm.
every little bit helps. Every little
Yeah,
bit
exactly.
makes it more possible for somebody to qualify, somebody to get what they want, and it's always a good sign when we see lending guidelines getting easier from a government standpoint than
Right.
going the other way. So
Yeah. Well, and
yeah,
again, that's why it's important for folks to call and talk to you, because there's always subtle tweaks going on in the background,
yeah,
and consumers obviously are not going to know that. It's not their world they live in every day, nor should
oh
they.
yeah,
That's why
yeah.
they need to call and talk to you and go, hey, what may have changed in the last 3 months since we talked last?
Mhm.
Or I talked to you maybe 6 months ago about maybe doing something with getting into a home. What's new? What can help me? Right.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, real estate and lending are both worlds where things can change, and 6 months can make quite a difference in what the outcome is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Well, so let's tell our viewers, our brand new viewers,
yeah.
where can you help? Where can Movement Mortgage help?
Yeah, my team and I, we can help in the great states of Idaho, Washington, Oregon, and California. And Movement Mortgage, my company, can help in all 50 states. There's nowhere we can't serve someone.
All right, perfect. So if somebody's living here in Idaho and they want to purchase a property elsewhere, still give you a call. And if you
Yeah,
can't handle it, you know who can best serve them and give them the
absolutely.
same level of service.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, as always, thank you so much for gifting us some of your time. And I look forward to seeing you next Monday.
Sounds good to me.